I'm going to teach you how to trim shrubs. Yeah, dog. For this job, I'm choosing the Red Max gas-powered handheld trimmers and the Milwaukee battery-powered extension pull head shears. I'm also going to throw in some tips on how much to charge. Let's go. Another reason why I picked these, I've spent years using heavy gas-powered trimmers and it doesn't feel good on your shoulders. Just to get right to the meat and potatoes, I've already got an extension on this battery-powered Milwaukee hedge trimmer so I can reach way up here without a ladder. Quick disclaimer, Milwaukee isn't paying me, but they did send me these for free a while back and I love them. I'm gonna give you a pro tip first about pricing. If you are a landscaper and say you have an employee doing it, you should charge about triple of what you're paying them. If you're paying someone 20 bucks an hour with all the inflation rates and everything, because it's probably what you got to pay someone at least, you got to charge 60 bucks per man hour, right? And we're talking about billable hours. So while you're on the project, $60 an hour. How do you judge that? You're just going to have to clock the jobs and see about how long they take so you can learn how much you have to charge. You're going to have to fall on your face a little bit for a while and get that figured out. So if you got two people working, if it's you and someone else, charge $120 an hour. If you can get a job banged out in 3 hours, it's 360 bucks plus debris removal. So we're trimming up all these shrubs. If we trim up a property and it takes you, it's 360 bucks. How much does it cost for debris removal? It could be, they might charge you 25 bucks to dump 1 yard of debris. I don't know what it is for you. You should probably double at least that because of the amount of time and non-billable hours it takes you to go dump all the debris. If you have multiple properties in a day and you're charging all the customers debris removal fees, you're actually making some profit off debris removal as well because it's part of the business. Make sure you calculate all that. But with that being said, let's talk about the shrub. When you're trimming shrubs, the blade should always be in contact with the shrub at all times. Some shrubs you can't go down on because if it's like some crazy cedar bush or something, you can only go up. That's fine. Look at this blade. Only this small amount, 3/4 of an inch on each one of these blades is only in contact with the shrub. So the longer and more amount of time consistently is in contact is the faster you'll get done. It's called go slow to go fast. So slow is smooth and smooth is fast. If you're trying to rush with the shrubs, it's going to take forever. It's weird. When you're actually making full sweeping motions from top to bottom, covering the entire surface area of the shrub, you'll get each shrub done faster. It's like a gyroscope. When I get to the bottom of the shrub, I'm doing an undercut to get a nice clean kind of bouquet on the bottom so it looks nice and manicured. And also with a yew shrub, I don't know what city or state you're in, let me know in the comments below. But depending on what type of shrub it is, you can't go too deep or cut too much, so you have to learn about that. Another tip is every few minutes, if you're trimming a whole lot of shrubs, and you want everything to look consistent, you want to step back 15, 20, 30 feet. Stand out in the street, take a look, and say, how am I doing? Look at the macro, then go back into the micro. That's the biggest thing ever, is if you're just trimming and you're not paying attention, your first few shrubs will look really nice and then other ones will look over trimmed or under trimmed. It won't look even, especially when you're trimming hedges. So step in and step out and take breaks and take a look. And I want to talk about sharpness. You got to have sharp blades when you're trimming, or otherwise it's gonna rip the foliage apart instead of finally cut it. I always keep my shrub trimmers very sharp. I'll put a link below or I'll throw a card up here to an entire tutorial on how to sharpen blades. You got to see this video. And you can actually carry a battery powered tool with you to do it right on the job site. So watch that. So my stuff's really sharp and it's not ripping the foliage. It's finally cutting everything. Sometimes it's better to trim less than more, because if it's a super hot part of the season and you destroy someone's shrub, you might have to replace that. So I think less is more, and you're going for the illusion of a shape because you're trimming millions of little tiny individual pieces of foliage. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a nickel off the sides, but then when you look at it from the side, it looks like it's perfectly trimmed. All right, I'm gassing up these Red Maxes right now. I like them, they're lightweight, smooth, fast. I'll put a card or a link below to the difference between gas-powered and battery-powered hedge trimmers. If you want to see a whole tutorial about what type you should use, click that and watch that as a whole video. Tarps. This rule can be broken, and I've been through this 100 times. See all these tarps around me? By all means, go to like Harbor Freight or Lowe's or something and pick up a bunch of tarps or canvases and lay them around. I'm the type of guy, I get anxious and I just want to jump on and start trimming it, but it's really proven that when you're at least catching most of the trimmings and then you can just pick it up, it's better to use a tarp when you can fit it. You can use a rake or a blower, but you gotta get all the trimmings off. One, because they'll all die and turn brown on top, but also after you leave the property. Now weeks go by and every little wind that rustles, now it's falling all over in the garden beds. You have to clean them off. And these aren't so bad, but you gotta clean them off and then trim them again, because as you clean them off, little tiny things go boing, 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 boing. And these aren't so bad, but like boxwood shrubs, you gotta trim them, shake them off, trim them again, shake them off again, and trim them again if you want them to